Welcome to the Digital Prosperity Podcast, the show for small and medium-sized businesses who want to get more traffic, get more leads, and get more sales from their website. So if you want to improve your business strategy, stay up to date with the latest sales and marketing technology, and learn specific marketing techniques that can keep your business ahead of the pack, then this is the show for you as the JDR Group brings you ideas, motivation, and inspiration to help you attract ideal clients and customers. And here is your host, Will Williamson.
Hello and welcome to the Digital Prosperity Podcast with me, Will Williamson, and with David Roberts. Hi, Dave.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Will. It's nice to be back.
It is. You feeling scared?
I'm feeling really scared. Well, Halloween's around the corner. It's that scary, scary time of year. I've got my costume ready to trick or treat. Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, got my pumpkin. Yes. I hope they're very generous at the door. I do like some good sweet bum-bums are my favourite, so I hope they're ready for me.
Oh, right, okay. I have you as a kind of hiding upstairs with the lights off, so you don't have to open the doors to trick or treat this kind of person.
There's that as well, Will. There is that as well. Yeah. I've got to flip the coin, see which one I'm going to do this year.
If I had to go between that or you out in fancy dress, then that would be the way I'd go.
I don't know, my tutu. I'm rather featured in that, Will. So it's scary time, Will, in this time of year coming up to Halloween. But also it's scary time for some people in terms of that dreaded word, Brexit, isn't it?
Absolutely. It is the elephant in the room in almost every discussion I have with business owners. Well, it has been for the best part of 3 years. I know. Especially in the last month or so. As the news has hit a real whirlwind, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Will. And Brexit, it's one of those things that if we don't approach in the right way, we could be suckered in.
Yeah.
Like some people get suckered into the media, what they're saying, how they're saying it. What was it you said? Don't read a newspaper, turn off the news. Yeah.
Well, I try to as much as possible. I'm coming off Twitter for a period.
Yeah.
Trying to pay much less attention to the news. The news media love chaos. They love turmoil. Yeah. Because that gets attention.
Absolutely.
And when you're running a business, and a lot of the news media, they want your attention, basically, because that's how they sell advertising, is by getting eyeballs and getting viewers. And the way they get your attention is by using anger, fear, resentment. It's emotive.
Absolutely.
And generally, it's negative emotions that the news tries to tap into. And if you're not careful, you can get, as you said, sucked into it, and you end up feeling stressed and worried, fearful, angry about things you've got no control over, or you can't do anything about, really. And that can impact your decisions in business, the way you go about running a company, the way you deal with your staff, the way you deal with your suppliers, your mindset, your whole approach. It can be poisonous, I think.
Very poisonous, Will. I was watching recently a programme about Margaret Thatcher before she came to power.
All right.
And it was when she was challenging Ted Heath for the leadership of the Conservative Party. And she was being interviewed by Robin Day. Now, hopefully there's a few people out there that remember Margaret Thatcher and remember Robin Day. He was quite a impressive and imposing interviewer of his day. And I was listening to him interview Margaret about XYZ. And for anyone that's out there that's still listening, this is not a party political agenda we're driving here. We're just talking about the general feeling that can happen in emotion that's going on right now in the UK. But jumping back to what I was talking about, if you listen to the challenges that Margaret Thatcher was hoping to solve for the country if she became leader, it could be like she was talking today. And the point I'm making is that obviously she wasn't talking about Brexit, but the challenges, they are absolutely could resonate with today. You're absolutely right about newspaper, because if you really think about it, the challenges that we face in business, they're reciprocal. They happen all the time anyway. Inflation goes up and down. The pound goes up and down. We have challenges with import, exports. They can get chaotic. They can be settled down. They can be thriving. These challenges are always going to be here. So what we need to remember as business owners is, number one, is the mindset of how you go about your day-to-day activities is going to play a strong place in where you end up.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what's your sense of how business owners are responding to Brexit from a mindset perspective? What impact is it having in small business land, in your view?
There's two distinct impressions I'm getting from business owners. If you're import-exporter, you've got more challenges. Yes, because you really don't know what's going to happen from a regulatory perspective. But the business owners that I come across, Will, they're not really affected right now, a lot of them, the vast majority, by Brexit. If you talk to a lot of business owners, it's their business is going on in the right way. In fact, Will, I've been past two huge motor service stations at Toyota and Ford, and they've got big signs outside. They're actually paying people for qualified technicians to come into their business, actually paying them a couple of £1,000 and offering them all sorts of things. Now, don't get me wrong, that's an exception. What I'm saying is, if you keep your eyes and ears open, there's so much positivity out there that you can rely on as a business owner, that in the main, if you get your mindset right about what you can do and how you can do it, it's all going to be fine. It might get harder before it gets easier, but ultimately it'll be fine. And why do I know that? Because we've already been through one recession, Will, haven't we?
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah. So we started JDR in 2004, so was it 3 years in? We had the credit crunch. We were a really young business then.
Absolutely.
But I remember it so well. I had you'd go into some companies that were overnight transformed from, we just had to let go 40%, 50%, 60% of our staff.
Yeah.
Closing down operations, whole sides to their business sometimes.
Absolutely.
And there was some businesses, I remember we had a few automotive customers at the time, really hit.
Yeah, that's right.
There were other businesses that closed, or lots that withdrew and kind of shrunk back.
Absolutely.
But certainly from our marketing perspective, what I found anyway out there is that there were lots of business owners who never before needed to do any marketing that wanted to start doing marketing.
Absolutely.
And I think when you are in a recession, and there may or may not be a recession as a result of Brexit, obviously.
But there will be something that would be like a recession.
It's likely to be.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of downturn.
Yeah, I think it's likely to be.
Yeah.
Not good economic news in the next sort of 12 months or so. But there are opportunities in those periods. And you can look at it in two ways. You can look at it as a fearful way, or you can look at it as what are the opportunities that come out of a period like that?
Absolutely. One of our team members was talking to somebody not so long ago who'd been through a couple of recessions and been in business that long. And instead of congratulating themselves and focusing on the fact they've already been through challenging times and they're still in business and moving forward, they were battling down the hatches and putting all this fear and all this anxiety into something that A, wasn't even there yet for them to worry about, but B, it just shows you if your mindset's more of a glass half full rather than half empty, there's so much you can achieve. And we've seen this both within JDR and with our clients.
I think there's three main opportunities with recessions.
Go on, Will.
This is my top three list.
Everyone listening now, you're getting this Will Williamson, okay? Get your Oracle out, because this is worth waiting for, if nothing else.
Right, number one. We didn't need quite such a build, but thanks, Dave. Number one is that gives you an opportunity to see off competitors. Actually, during business downturns, some of your competitors might go. And if you can...
Not that we wish you that for anyone.
Listen, any business going under is a tragedy, right?
Terrible.
However, if it's a competitor...
Absolutely. Any of our competitors go down,
it's
it's a
such a
shame.
tragedy, right? So it can help you actually come out of the recession with a greater market share and
Absolutely.
make you more successful in the long run, even if it's hard for a period. So that's the first thing. You can actually see off competitors and open up more market share. Number two, you can get staff and talent that you might not have otherwise been able to get in better economic times. People that have been let go of, released, made redundant or whatever from other places that are now in the marketplace.
Great point, Will. A good example of that is Thomas Cook.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thomas Cook unfortunately went down. It wasn't
Yes.
a nice situation,
Yes.
for the staff and for the holiday makers alike.
Yeah.
However, one of their competitors has picked up about 500 of their staff.
Hayes Travel.
Yeah, Hayes Travel.
Yeah.
And they've picked up some of their high street stores.
Yes.
And they've seen this as an opportunity.
Well, that brings me on to point three nicely. Yeah, I was going to say that you've got the opportunity to invest in assets or other companies, maybe mergers, acquisitions.
Absolutely.
That are suddenly a lot more attractive from a price perspective. I always remember that Hilton Hotels is built on the back of the Great Recession. What was it?
Oh yeah,
The Wall Street crash.
The Wall Street crash.
Great Depression.
I can forget that. And you got your Oracle there.
Can't let myself down. And just
Yeah, it was.
Buying properties which were great value because of the economic times. So there are opportunities to make investments, and the new markets can open up. Trends can change. There's loads and loads. There are opportunities if you look for them that can actually make your business stronger in the long run.
And obviously, it's difficult for businesses to plan right now.
Yes.
As we speak, we're not out of the EU yet. We don't know what's going to happen or the circumstances. But what you can plan for is for whatever happens, you're ready.
Yes.
You got your staff ready. You've got your efficiencies, yes? But more importantly, Will, you got your marketing and sales hats ready.
Yes.
This is an opportunity for you to understand. What is it that your customers who buy from you and from your competitors, what do they really want? What are your USPs? Here's an opportunity to really understand what is going to make you win more sales over the next few years. And the way you do that, well, as you know, is to understand what media channels you're going to use, understand who are your ideal target market, and understand your message to market. Would you not agree, Will?
Totally, yeah. Totally. If you, rather than getting bogged down in the news and fear and the anxiety and the frustration and the anger and all of that, keep focused on your goals and your objectives and on winning market share by being better than the rest of the competitors. Your market might reduce in a downturn, but if you're winning market share, you can at least hold your own, and as you come out of it, you'll be that much stronger and that much bigger and that much more profitable.
Yeah, you need that abundance mentality, yes? You need to think that there's plenty of business out there, plenty of ways of your business thriving in the future. Let's just, before we go, Will, let's just talk about those three elements, yeah? So anyone listening can really home in on, after this podcast, what they can focus on.
Yeah.
So when we talk about media, we're talking about the channels that work for your business. Why don't we talk about a bit more about that, Will?
Well, the media of today is very different from the media of 2007.
Yeah.
The recession we had then. We're talking a lot of social media.
Yeah.
Search engines, Google particularly.
Yeah.
We are talking email still.
Absolutely.
It's still huge.
Yeah.
And then there's still room in this world for things like direct mail.
I was just about to remind you, Will, absolutely. There's plenty of room for offline marketing as well.
And a huge one in terms of media is video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a big tip for anyone from Will's Oracle. The video is very important, and it's one of the fastest mediums growing that you can put on platforms. So easy to do. It's not complicated,
and it's massively underused in small business.
Yeah.
'Cause it's hard to do. You have to organise a company to come in and shoot it. You have to plan it. It's much harder than putting an ad in a paper.
Yeah.
But you get video right. Wow, that's powerful for a business right now.
Now, this is one I think small businesses get wrong all the time. Target market.
Yep.
Market and obtaining market share. Because not many small to medium-sized businesses really understand who are their best customers.
Yep.
What they tend to do, and anyone that doesn't do this, hats up to you. But for anyone that this resonates for, somebody makes an inquiry or give me a quote. It's not great business, but it is business and we take it anyway. We don't necessarily always are selling our most profitable products and services because we're just taking what comes in. But if you're marketing attracted your very best customers by you understanding who they are, the business coming in can be more profitable, more enjoyable, and help your business grow whichever way you want it to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the message needs to be right. So that you mentioned USP.
Yeah, unique selling proposition.
Yeah, how you differentiate from your competitors.
Differentiate or Die is a fantastic book.
Oh yeah, that is a great recommendation. Yeah, and how you make sure that you adapt your products and your services and how you explain them to people and present them to people. If you stall on that, you can be quickly left behind. And likewise, if you get that right, you can see big changes in your market share. So yeah, absolutely vital.
Really vital. So I think
it's the fundamentals, isn't it? Basically, if you're doing a great job at running a well-organised business, both in terms of the operations, the finance, and the sales and marketing, then whatever happens with Brexit, you'll be okay. And
that's when you really understand that this is a time when you work on and in the business. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, you must read a book called The E-Myth, Entrepreneurial Myth by
Michael Gerber.
Thank you, Will. It went out of my head for a moment. But if you're working...
Check with the Oracle.
That's right, Will. That's what I was doing. Thank you for that. If you're working in the right amounts in the business where you're actually implementing the strategy or the priorities that you worked out by being on the business by planning, you're going to get through any recession, any Brexit challenges or anything else Boris or Trump or the European Union throws at us because we're ready for it, because we've got the right practices and the right mindset in place to get over any challenge.
Fantastic.
I think so.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Look out for me in my tutu.
Yeah. Whatever kind of Brexit or not you want to see, I hope you get it.
Yeah.
I only hope that you don't answer the door and Dave's there. But yeah, thank you again for listening and look forward to speaking to you again very soon. This is Will and Dave from the Digital Prosperity Podcast.
Prosperity is the key there. Bye-bye.